Hey guys, happy Monday. I know today's Monday Reset podcast video, and we're gonna continue discussing about identity. And I know last time we read a story about Leia, uh, I think on Valentine's week, and we just talked about who she was and who she became as well, like her in her story, her and Rachel. And so we're gonna continue more about discussing about who we are. And today we're grounding like ourselves in identity. And it's easy to feel pressure to become something, to do more, to be seen. But before all of that, there was a deeper truth. And who you are comes first. And today is about returning and not striving, not proving, just remembering, who you are. And today's Monday reset is about identity. So before leadership, before influence, before assignments, there is identity. And on a day when we recognize leaders, we pause to remember that our true leadership flows from knowing who you are. And today's what? President's Day, and that's something like I want to bring out to you about President's Day for a little bit. And basically it's about like not only their sacrifices but who they are. And this episode is also a gentle reset for the youth, for the community here, for the young people, for the young girls, especially those who struggle with pressure, struggle with following the crowd and just going with, what everyone's doing. And as well, those who feel pressure to perform as well. Or try to become something, you're not. And it doesn't, need all that of who we are. And one of the things that's most needed and important is you need clarity in knowing who you are. And my main points I want to bring, it's identity comes before influence. You don't need a platform to carry purpose. Leadership isn't loud, it's rooted. When identity is secure, comparison loses its power. God calls daughters to before he calls them leaders. And one of the questions I like to bring is, who am I when no one's watching? Who you are when you don't need social media every second of your life, kind of like the day of your life, kind of to prove yourself, like, oh, this is who I am. But who you really are, like, basically when there's no spotlight on you, there's no cameras watching you, or your friends or your family watching you. And what voices shape how I see myself or how you see yourself? What voices are you listening to, the wrong voices or the right ones? And that's something that's gonna shape up of what you hear. And am I trying to lead from approval or truth? And who do I represent with my life? Fear, culture, or God the Father? And today's reset isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you were always created to be. And that's something I felt like to bring this up. And it's so interesting because we live in a pretty much basically a world that's so selfish, that has lacked a lot of like that has lack of themselves, of who they are and how they lost themselves in different areas of their life. And that's something we had to, most important, to come back who we were. Where's that innocence? Where's that purity of who we are? And basically who we're created to be. And the Father created us as his masterpiece of who we are. And stay tuned for another video, and I'm going to bring you more videos of Monday resets for next Monday.